At the very beginning of the 21st century, could you think that one day in your car, you will enjoy the game of your favorite club on your screen while going to your workplace, and the most important thing is you are alone in that car? You can change your music playlist while cooking with the help of your voice? We all know Tesla, Siri, Alexa are so common these days, and these brands are playing in the field of artificial intelligence. Hello, and welcome to Future Technology. If you're fascinated to artificial intelligence, then this video is only for you. In today's video, we are going to talk about 10 shocking bionic robots with artificial intelligence. I know this term can be new for some of you. Bionic robots can be said the masterpiece of AI. So firstly, let's see what artificial intelligence is. So the ability of a digital computer or computer-controlled robot to perform tasks, commonly associated with intelligent beings. The term is frequently applied to the project of developing systems endowed with the intellectual processes characteristic of humans, such as the ability to reason, discover meaning, generalize, or learn from past experience. All but the simplest human behavior is ascribed to intelligence, while even the most complicated insect behavior is never taken as an indication of intelligence. Hence, humans needed anyone more similar to him to aid him in his works. It has given birth to robots, and here came artificial intelligence with the joint venture of psychologists and technologists. But now AI has been updated one more step. Now we are ready to see bionic robots in the market. Basically, bionics is a replication of biological systems by mechanical and electronic systems. Today we see some bionic robots that will completely transform an amputee's life. Bionic eye. First one in our list is bionic eye, electrical prosthesis surgically implanted in humans for the purpose of transduction of light in people who have suffered from severe retina damage. It will be more beneficial for middle-aged or elderly with very bad vision. Although the retina is damaged, there should be some retinal ganglion cells that remain intact for the bionic eye to function as considered. Affected individuals must have been able to see at some point in their lives to create the nerve connections in the brain for the device to work. Serious damage to the optic nerve or visual cortex also renders bionic eye implantation function useless. The bionic eye contains an external camera and transmitter and an internal microchip. The camera is fitted in a pair of eyeglasses where it emits high-frequency radio waves. The stimulator microchip consists of an electrode array that is surgically inserted into the retina, which functions as an electrical relay in place of degenerated retinal cells. The radio waves then fire electrical impulses. The impulses are then transferred by the few remaining retinal cells and are transduced as normal to the optic nerve pathway, resulting in vision. Long-term effects of the implantation of a bionic eye remain unknown. Regrown bone. Since the 1960s, researchers have known about proteins that can cause bone tissue to grow its own patches for missing or damaged parts. Sadly, that technology never worked thoroughly, usually growing the wrong type of tissue or growing bone where bone shouldn't be. In 2005, researchers at UCLA solved the problem using a specially designed protein capable only of triggering growth in specific types of cells called UCB1. The protein is now used to grow new bone that can fuse and immobilize sections of vertebrae, alleviating severe back pain in some patients. Portable pancreas. Aaron Kowalski, the Director of Strategic Research Projects at the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, said an artificial pancreas, which is responsible for monitoring a person's blood sugar level and automating the level of insulin to meet their body's needs, will likely be on the market within a few short years. Kowalski said the device would initially be a combination of two existing technologies, an insulin pump and a continuous glucose monitor. The contraption could help insulin-dependent diabetics lead more normal lives and make it easier for them to avoid the disfiguring and life-threatening side effects of hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia, having too little or too much blood sugar respectively. Inhuman taste. This bionic robot is going to be very useful for food item companies. When food companies want to create the same flavor every time, they can rely on this electric tongue, a device developed by Dean Nelkirk, a professor of computer and electrical engineering at the University of Texas at Austin, and his team to analyze liquids and pick out their exact chemical makeup. We all know that the tongue can be a powerful tool, but also a highly subjective one. Nelkirk's device uses microspheres, tiny sensors that change color when exposed to specific targets, such as certain kinds of sugars. The result is a system that can't replace the person who says this tastes good, but can make sure the chemistry of good taste is reliably replicated. New limbs. Dr. Todd Kukin made a dream come true for amputees. Amputees can now use a prosthetic arm the same way they'd use a real one. This bionic arm is connected to the brain by healthy motor nerves that used to run into the patient's missing limb. These nerves are rerouted to another area of the body, such as the chest, where the nerve impulses they carry can be picked up by electrodes in the bionic arm. When the patient decides to move her hand, the nerves that would have sent the signal to the real hand send it to the prosthetic one instead. Now, Dr. Kukin's team is working on improving the arm, using surviving sensory nerves to communicate the feeling of temperature, vibration, and pressure from the bionic arm to the patient's brain. Smart knee. The knee isn't a part of the body you'd expect to think for itself, but the Rio, a prosthetic knee developed by MIT artificial intelligence researchers Hugh Herr and Ari Wilkenfeld, really does have a mind of its own. Earlier electronic knee systems usually had to be programmed by a technician when the patient first put them on. But on the other hand, the Rio knee creates realistic, comfortable motion on its own by learning the way the user walks and by using sensors to figure out what kind of terrain they're walking on. The system makes walking with a prosthetic leg easier and less exhausting, and that's a completely different experience. Wearable kidney. For people with failing kidneys, basic necessities of life like removing toxins from the blood and keeping fluid levels balanced requires hours hooked up to a dialysis machine the size of a clothes dryer. But a new portable artificial kidney, small and light enough to fit on a belt system, could change that. Despite its small size, the automated wearable artificial kidney, AWAC, designed by Martin Roberts and David B.N. Lee of UCLA, actually works better than traditional dialysis because it can be used 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just like a real kidney. Artificial cells. Daniel Hammer introduces a mind-blowing technology. When you need to deliver drugs to just the right spot in the body, a pill or an injection, it won't need to cut the mustard. This professor of bioengineering at the University of Pennsylvania has a better method: artificial cells, which can mimic the ease with which white blood cells travel through the body. Called C-made from polymers, these fake cells could deliver drugs directly where they're needed. These fake cells are developed from polymers and make it easier and safer to fight off certain diseases, including cancer. This method makes the medicines more efficient. Old man, new penis. Erectile dysfunction is a widespread condition in males over 40 years of age all over the world. It has a variety of causes and is often treatable. Left untreated, it can be the source of severe emotional stress to both patient and partner. Erectile dysfunction can take the fun out of a man's life, but Anthony Atala and his team at Wake Forest University have come up with a method that could put the spring back in many a guy's life. In 2006, Atala succeeded in growing new corpora cavernosa. That is the spongy tissue that fills with blood during an erection for male rabbits who'd had theirs removed. The new tissue was grown from the rabbit's own cells, and after a month, the bunnies were back to doing what they do best. Prosthetics for your brain. Can you think the replacement of a part for your brain? It isn't as simple as replacement of a limb, but in the future it could be. Theodore Berger, a professor at the University of Southern California, created a computer chip. This chip could take the place of the hippocampus, a part of the brain which controls short-term memory and spatial understanding. This sensitive part is frequently damaged by Alzheimer's and strokes, and this hippocampus implant could help maintain normal function in people who'd otherwise be severely disabled. Berger is still testing this implant, but he'd like to see more. He even wrote a book, Toward Replacement Parts for the Brain, in 2005. We hope these wonderful implantations will bring a change in our society in an economical expense. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to smash the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching.